I'm going to do some modification on this sweater, the Stripe Unicorn by Locatelly. It is too tight around the armholes, and that's only my mistake because I went down a size to compensate for the gauge difference. But obviously I did not knit the yoke to the required length for a bigger size. So my plan is actually, because the rest fits very well, I will cut it down here and cut off the sleeves and then re-knit the yoke and then graft the bottom and the sleeves back onto the yoke. Well, at least I'm going to try to do that. So as the sleeves are exactly the right size, I will start unraveling it just where I joined it for the underarm, I think. So I will just snip here. Let me see. One here. Gonna pick it up with a smaller size. I think that will be easier. This is superwash yarn, but nevertheless it will not unravel that easily. So I have a tiny little ball left of the hand spun, which is the colored yarn. The blue is Drops Charisma. I think I have some extra over from that. But since the yoke has to become taller, longer, deeper, I will need some extra yarn. So I think I'll make the body a little bit shorter because it is nice, a nice long sweater at the moment. But yeah, if we have to be cautious about yarn usage, it might be better to make the body a little bit shorter. Now, this pattern has a very fancy way of shaping with increases and decreases all over the body. So I'm not even sure what I'm trying to do will work. I will graft it together, but if I can match it up with the original in and decreases for the shaping, I am not even sure. I'll just go for it. It doesn't fit like it is right now, and something has to happen. I don't want to re-knit the total sweater if I can avoid it. But on the other hand, it was quite a fun knit because you change the colors every row. Yeah, stripes are always addictive. And I used up my hand spun, which was 200 grams, added with a commercial yarn. Turned out pretty nice. So I will go just around until I got this sleeve off, and do the next one, and then at last I will do the body. Alright, so I removed both of the sleeves, as you can see, and I put them on small circular needles, 4 millimeters. And as I removed the sleeves, I revised my plan because the yoke was quite difficult, as how he explained, the short rows were a little bit of a challenge because you have to keep the stripes intact. So actually the yoke fitted quite nicely. The only problem was it was not deep enough. So I think I will just unravel the body and add a few centimeters to the yoke depth, and then just re-knit the body. And I should probably, maybe you can see it, there are multiple increase lines, and in the body it is also repeated, so the increases are again decreased on another point to keep the same lines in there. So I think that's what I will do. I will reknit the body, make it a little bit shorter, and since I already have the sleeves, I just can use whatever extra for the yoke and then use everything is left for the body to finish it off. Well, that's what I will do now. So this is going to take some time, of course, because it is constantly changing color every row, but it's fine. Unraveling can be very relaxing. So I used one strand of handspun and one strand of commercial yarn, which is the Drops Charisma. It is a DK weight yarn, and they go very well together. Well, the lighting is quite terrible, but we do with what we have. So as planned, I unraveled until the yoke and the separation for the sleeve. So I started knitting on the body again, and then I already grafted one sleeve, and you can see where I grafted it, but I think this will block out very nicely. So this is the sleeve attached to the body, and here is another one that still needs to be attached. So as I ended with a blue, and the sleeve is also ended with a blue, I will craft with the contrasting yarn, which is the hand spun. So I have to look where the underside of the arm is. And that is about here, so I have to slip a few stitches. Don't make the same mistake I did on the other side. Let's not do that again. So. Alright, so this is kind of the same as the Kitchener stitch on the toe. It's actually exactly the same. It's not kind of the same, it's exactly the same. So in the beginning it's a little bit awkward, but I have a long piece of yarn, of course, because I have to go all the way around. So knit off, purl on, and so we start. And as I remember on the other side, I have to pull it quite tightly. So knit on, knit off, purl on, purl off, knit on. It is not hard at all. And the way I remember it is because the front I'm looking at the right side, so I just knit off and purl on. And the back needle, I actually look at the inside, the wrong side, so we purl off and knit on. So I've never done it like this, but I saw people do it and I read about it. So I thought, let's give it a try. When I was re-knitting the body, I thought, well, you know, if this doesn't look right, then I'll just re-knit the sleeves. How hard can it be, right? But I preferred not to. It's okay, but then you basically have reknitted the whole sweater, which is also fine. I did that before, but I added a few extra rows for the sleeves, because then I could have the sleeves a tiny little bit longer, because we're in the cold season now and my hands get cold. So if I can snuggle them up in the sleeves a little bit further, that would be really nice. And now I could do it, because I already tried it on. I knew exactly how far they came, and I could edit it a little bit. And since the stitch count did not change at the top part of the sleeve, that was very easily done. A few extra rounds, I think 5, and then put the sleeves back on. So I will not bother you and bore you by doing 62 stitches, but we're gonna have a look up close and see how this is turning out. I don't think you can see that much right now. It's still dark. Apparently I always have to film when it is dark, but okay. I think it's going well. Maybe a few more. And then I just can finish the body off, and I'm happy, because then I'm pretty sure the sweater will fit really nice. I added a few centimeters because what I did, I chose size 1 to get size 3 because of the gauge difference. And when you do something like that, you have to take the measurements from size 3 when it comes to the length, and you take the measurements of the size 1 when it comes to the width. So the length is, of course, the yoke of a size 3 is more centimeters or inches than the yoke of a size 1. And I can only assume that that's where I made a mistake. And I just took the measurements for size 1, which absolutely was not enough yoke depth for me. So it briefly went in my mind that I could maybe block it aggressively and get an extra centimeter, but nah, I think this is the better solution, and I'm pretty sure that it is way better now. I added really not just 2 or 3 rows, but way more. So yep, sometimes that happens. You get distracted. And of course they always say try it on, but I did not. It would have saved me a lot of work and trouble, but sometimes you're just not in the right mindset to do it all correctly. Okay, well, I hope you can see it. Here is the line that I crafted. So that looks pretty cool. I don't think that will show up at all. If you wash it and block it, this will just be like it is a normal, regular stitch. So this will continue, and then we will have a sweater as it's supposed to be. So the crafting is finished. It is over here. I think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. Like I said, after a good wash and block, and it will look really nice. So I continue working on the body, and then weave in the ends and all the stuff we need to do, right?